waited for in this particular counter. I will suggest not to book your losses since you have shown a lot of patience. Wait for some more time. Definitely, we see some reversal trend into this particular counters. If possible, if whenever the counters approaches 490 or 500 levels, again please raise the query on the same thing so that we can give a view to average it out or not, so that your buying price will come down. And on the higher side, definitely once the market stabilized and shows some sort of a reversal in the near future, this counter has a potential to reach up to back towards to 700, 750 levels. So for the longer term horizon, not to book your losses, just hold your long positions at the current market price.
All right, that's the view coming in on CG Power. The next question is from Bilal, who is from Hyderabad. He's holding 40 stocks of ONGC at 255. He wants to know as to how much time should he keep holding them, and he's looking from a short-term perspective. Swati, I'll come to you. ONGC on the charts.
See, the overall chart looks bearish to cautious only because it's continuously from the last 6 months trading in the pattern of the low top, slow bottom formations, not showing any kind of a reversals, but definitely it's approaching its oversold zone. So downside, it will continue to show some weaknesses towards at least 230 to 220 levels. Up to that level, we can witness some sort of a selling pressures. But on the longer term horizon, yes, you can hold on this particular counter. If the Nifty manages to show the new strength on upward direction, this counter will also participate in upside rally, which might take a counter to 300 to 340. So the longer term horizon, definitely you can hold on this particular stock.
All right, that's the view coming in on ONGC. Moving on to the next caller, Gaurav from Gurugram is calling in. Gaurav, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Hi, good morning. So actually, I have Nalco 200 shares.
Okay.
In the average price of 47 rupees. I got it few years back, 5 years back. So I wanted to check, should I hold it? I can hold it for long term, or is it enough to book a profit, partial profit or complete profit?
All right, Gaurav, when you bought Nalco, because you bought it at a very attractive price, what was the kind of thinking behind buying it? And what's the kind of time horizon? You said long term, but can you define as to what long term means to you? Because you've already been holding it for 5 years now.
Yeah, right. So I got this 5 years back. I was looking for a good PSU company which can provide a good dividend yield, right? So with that logic, I somehow shortlisted this stock. It was at 47. It was quite attractive for me because considering the dividend yield.
Got it.
So So I got this in that way. When it comes to long term for me, if this price remains stable at this level, I'm okay with that. But for me, long term can be next 5 years as well.
Okay. Astha, I'll come to you. Next 5 years for Nalco, what's your view?
So for next 5 years, definitely it is looking good. But I would like to say one thing, that why the stock is showing such a downward momentum, if I talk about last few days, because again the valuations are the major concern which right now spreading across the board, and that is why we are seeing there is a continuous beating down on this stock as well. But my idea here is there are 2-3 points which are backing my idea. First of all, I'm expecting metal prices to be on the higher side in the H2 of CY25, calendar year 25. So in that case, if there will be the higher aluminium prices, definitely higher alumina prices will definitely support this counter in the financial performance wise also. Secondly, they're one of the Utkal D block. I mean, in fact, if I talk about that part also, so some of those things are also happening in the company, which is on the positive side. So all in all, I think on the back of a higher commodity prices in the later part of the year, definitely this counter will perform strongly. And here the time horizon is more than 2-3 years. Definitely it's a hold from my side.
Just want to make the point that you're probably seeing gashes in your portfolio and in individual stocks, and I know it's a difficult period, but it's important for you to get the right advice, and this is now the best time to speak about those stocks, and particularly on the technical side, Swati might be able to give you some perspective on whether or not you should use the opportunity to add to your position or not. Kaynes Technology is seeing a very sharp drawdown in trade today, and we spoke with the management not too long back. Mr. Sampath, he spoke about the reason why the quarterly numbers were not really up to scratch. And he's also spoke about the first quarter of next year, where he anticipates that he'll be able to make up certain ground in the I'm talking about the calendar year, of course, but the fourth quarter of the current financial year and the first quarter of next financial year. And that is certainly something that he's confident of. The reason I'm giving you this context is that we've got Keynes Technology, which has been bought by Periyasamy, who's writing in from Tamil Nadu, and has bought it at 5,600 levels. Significant loss right now. The stock is currently trading at 4,253. It's down about 20% right now. Would you add at these levels? It's a tough question. It's a tricky question, Asta, because some might have argued that the stock might have been a little overvalued, which is why it's taking a little bit of a crack today. Would you buy right now?
So there were reasons behind this type of a performance, and as we all know, there were some execution delays as well as, and some of the 100 crore order in the industrial segment company was not able to execute. So I think there were the reasons why, and in fact we are seeing that this stock price has shown a strong downside momentum. But right now I don't believe that it is the right time to enter into the stock prices. Let the stock fall more, because first of all, market sentiments are not in the positive support, and secondly, we are seeing the company itself has not able to meet up the guidance. So these two factors are not able, I think, will not help the company in showing some northward trajectory in the stock prices. So better to wait for the stock, to correct more and then make entry into this counter. Maybe right now, I think 3,800 or 3,900 are the quite strong level where one can make entry into this counter. So just wait and watch till those levels come.
The very definition of avoiding catching a falling knife. At this point. We've got a next caller, Suresh from Bengaluru, who's calling us about another stock that is taking a beating today, Federal Bank. Morning, Suresh. How can we help you today?
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
I have bought Federal Bank in December last week.
Okay.
At 210 rupees.
Yes.
And today it has fallen 7%.
Yes.
Can I average it, or... In my assessment, Federal Bank is one of the good private sector banks.
Yes. Suresh, what was it? So you bought it based on the fundamentals. I'm assuming that is the case.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And do you own any other banks?
Yes, HDFC.
HDFC Bank. Got it. So, Suresh, the numbers have just come through. I'm assuming that you've looked at the numbers as well for the quarter.
Oh, not really.
Okay.
That's what I'm calling.
Okay, so let's pull up, if we can, let's pull up the earnings numbers for Federal Bank, just so that Suresh and everybody else can take a look. You had an increase of about 15% in the net interest income. If I remember correctly, there was not too much of a problem in the asset quality. It was more or less stable. I'm saying from memory, so let's pull that up as well. Operating profit was up about 9% or thereabouts. Let's pull up the asset quality numbers if we can. In the meanwhile, Asta, I'll just come to you on this one. If I'm not mistaken, it's the growth that is a bit of a question mark for Federal Bank. The growth number a little bit softer. What did you make of the numbers, and would you average at this point is a question from Suresh.
So I think, yes, growth was not the issue. First of all, decline in the profitability was majorly due to, increase in the provisions because the provision coverage ratio has also surged to 74%. So I think the one point lies there. Secondly, you have rightly pointed out there is a good improvement in their GNP and NNP ratio. As far as I remember, from 2.09 GNP ratio, they have shown improvement because it has come at around 1.95, what I remember. So I think improvement in the asset quality is there. In fact, the net interest income has also shown an increase, but there was a decline in the profitability. So right now, what is happening is that although markets are not in a good shape, and secondly, profitability figures are not coming according to estimates. So these twin factors are not letting the prices to move in the upward direction. What my idea is, it is not a better time to right now average the counter. Let it fall to the level of 160 or 165. I think those are the levels where one can make entry into this counter or can accumulate. But right now, it's better to let the stock prices fall to those levels.
All right. So that's the view coming in on Federal Bank. Moving on to the next query. It's Ravi Suresh from Hyderabad has a query on Laurus Pharma. It's basically Laurus Labs. He's bought 300 shares at 510 a piece. He's sitting on a small loss of 400 odd rupees. He wants to know whether he should hold or sell. Swati, I'll come to you on this one. What should he do? What should be the next strategy that he should adopt?
The overall Loris Lab, as of now, the weekly charts suggest some sort of a negative divergence at the current market price. We are likely to witness more downfall towards to 470 to 465 levels. Up to that level, we can see some depth, and then onwards we will see it here. If you're looking for a churning purpose or a just trading purpose, I will suggest to maintain the strict stop loss of 500 rupees. And if you're looking for delivery, I will suggest hold on this particular counter. Upside can be again seen towards to 580 to 590 levels. Up to that level, you can witness positive momentums. So as per your trading periods, definitely I will suggest if you're looking for a longer term or short term, it's a hold. But for a trading purpose, if you're taking a call, then I will suggest to keep a stop loss of 500 rupees.
Right. Ravi Suresh, if you're watching this right now, we're going to do a KYC, Know Your Company on Laurus Labs today at 11:30. Do watch that to get an extensive coverage of the particular company. Moving on to the next caller, Ram Kumar from Chennai is calling in. Ram, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a query on Natco Pharma.
Yes. Hi, very good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead with your
my
query.
query is like, So I am holding only 10 shares in Natco Pharma that I bought it around 1,250 last week, January 23.
Okay.
But now it is fall under 150 rupees. It gets fall as of today. So is this the right time to consider the Natco Pharma? So I am planning for a long-term investment for around 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees. So is this the right time or still it will fall down?
Okay.
So I just want your opinion.
Understood. When you say 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees, is that a small part of your portfolio or a major part of your portfolio?
It's a major part of the portfolio. I was planning to invest in any of the pharmaceutical sector. So Dr. Reddy and Natco is the one. So I am preferring Natco Pharma. So but it is falling nowadays. Today also it fall around 60 rupees. So is this the right time or still it will break down the 1,000 rupees?
Right. Asa, I'll come to you. You can have your view on this particular matter also, but generally we always talk about this in personal finance shows as well, that you should not, concentrate your portfolio to just 1 or 2 stocks. It's always advisable to diversify to at least 10 to 15 stocks. You can help Ram Kumar with that as well as your view on Natco Pharma.
Yes, rightly said. In fact, we also manage PMS. So definitely, 15 to 20 stocks are the right strategy to, keep them in the portfolio rather than have a concentrated portfolio of 5 to 6 stocks. Because in such times which we are facing right now, always the diversification strategy helps. So yes, if you are managing some portfolios, I think it should be at least minimum 10 to 15 scripts should be there in the portfolio. Now talking about Natco Pharma, their main keys lies in the oncology, because in oncology segment, they have, I think, more than 20-30 brands. And in fact, G-Revlimid, which is the major formulation. So now the company is into the launch of some more products in the niche area. So I think all these things will be a long-term story for this counter, because in the short term, what we are looking right now is their Q2 of FY25 performance. Q3, I suppose, has not come as of now. So in that also profitability seeing her mark beaten down, it is beaten down profitability in the Q2 of FY25 financials. So I think markets are not liking that. And that is why we are seeing that this stock is not able to perform strongly. It's a good long-term story to bet upon, but in the short term, we might see some more pain. So idea here is to stay invested, keeping in mind that some more downside can be seen in the stock prices.
Okay, more downside is possible. And isn't that the statement of the day? More downside is possible. We've got a combo query, and I've clubbed a couple, and this is on Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Both short-term and long-term is being sought by different individuals. So we've got the first one from Bharadwaj, who's writing in from Vizag, Vishakhapatnam. He's already bought an average price of 801. He's got 1,000 shares, and so he's incurring a significant loss at this point. The stock is currently trading down about 7% at 617. Everything is getting beaten down, and Motilal Oswal is no different. from the wealth management space. This is a company that is that actually has been doing reasonably well. And we've also got a long-term question, and this is from Hardik, who's bought at levels of 854, also elevated levels, and he's looking for a 5-year time horizon. So first, on the technicals, Swati, I'll come to you. What would you do with this? Would you look at the current price and say that more downside is possible?
Yes, Alex, definitely. This month only the stock has corrected almost 35%. As of now, it is approaching the oversold zone. I believe that it's likely to test the levels of at least 550 to 530 levels. Up to that level, we can witness more selling pressure into this particular counters. Because in the last year, we have seen a very non-stop rally from almost 400 to 1000 levels. So the profit bookings or such kind of a corrections cannot be denied at the higher levels, even though the market is correcting. So there is no expectation for this particular counter, but for a longer term horizon, definitely this is the one counter one can keep it on a hold, and upside can be very soon can be reach up to 800 to 900 levels can be seen once the market supports on the higher sides. But as of now, yes, more depth is limited on more depth is there in this particular stock. We might witness some sort of a fall which might extend this downfall towards to 550 and so levels. So try to avoid the fresh long positions, but we are having a long positions, hold on. Don't panic and book your losses. The market over a period of time will show uptrend in the coming near futures. Let the event pass on, the budget events, then probably the sentiments will get turned into on the positive side. So don't hurry to book your losses. Keep patience and just watch the markets. Definitely we will see some uptrend in the near future.
And I think that's very good advice, especially for companies that are showing resilience and that are showing reasonably good numbers. And I know that the earnings season has been a little bit patchy, and that might just be a little bit optimistic as well, because there have been so many disappointments. But having said that, these are companies in growth sectors. Do you agree, Asta? Is this one of the stocks that you should hold on to? And of course, Swati's point is well taken. Don't panic, but also don't deploy at this juncture. Wait for a bit.
Yes, wait at least for today's close, or the because results are set to announce today. Company will be announcing the results today itself. So definitely a wait. Now, what we are saying from the fundamental point of view, that this company has shown a strong transition from broking and distribution business to wealth management business. But now we really need to see how the capital market headwinds, which these all companies are facing right now, will work for the company, because previously they were really benefiting from the tailwinds in the capital market, but now the scenario has completely changed. So I think we really need to wait for results to come in, as well as I think in the shorter term, maybe 3 or 4 months is the time horizon where we can see some sort of muted performance. But yes, over the longer period of a time, definitely when the markets will again take a U-turn from the downside to upside, these stocks will definitely tend to perform in a more better way. So hold and let's wait for results at least, which will be set to announce today.
Okay, all right. Watch out for the results as well. We've got more questions that we've lined up, of course, but we have to take a very quick break. We'll be back on the other side to take all of them. Do stay with us.
This is the day that shapes the future of 1 billion dreams.
From the fields of agriculture to the backbone of defense.
From ambitious infrastructure projects to everyday tax policies.
Every decision counts.
How will this budget balance growth and fiscal prudence?
What will it mean for jobs, and what will it mean for your portfolio?
Join us for the most comprehensive coverage of Budget 2025
as we decipher the impact
of this budget on you.
Well, the union budget is right around the corner, and we get you some of the major wish lists according to Bajaj Broking, the key sector expectations, as well as the 3 key stocks that you should watch out for in this particular budget. Let's start with some of the key budget expectations in terms of sectors. In terms of banking, they have mentioned that they're expecting no favorable terms in terms of deposits to come in, but capital infusion for PSU banks as well as insurance companies will be something to watch out for. When you move on and look at the other key expectation from banking, they are expecting that the focus of the banking and the financial space will be on sectors such as cement as well as the metals, which haven't done too well over the last 2 years. Import duty changes to support any kind of domestic production will be something to watch out for, especially for the metal space, because we are expecting and hearing rumors as well in terms of some anti-dumping duties on metals coming from China. When you move on and look at the key other expectations from the infra space specifically, a key sector to definitely watch out for, capex allocation for roads and railways is something that's been standard. It's been increasing steadily over the last 6 to 7 years, and this time again it will be something to watch out for. Apart from that, announcements of any kind of large-scale projects according to Bajaj Broking, likely a new freight corridors, will be something to watch out for as well. When you move on and look at
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, a show where we get all your stock-related queries answered. For viewers who are just tuning in, you can ask all your stock-related queries on the number that is flashing on your screen. You can either call us or WhatsApp us. We have our next caller lined up. Hari from Chennai is calling in. Hari, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a query on Bajaj Housing Finance.
Hi. Hey, good morning. This is Hari here.
Yes.
Thanks for taking this call. So my question is regarding Bajaj Housing Finance. I have around like 100 stocks at 143.
Okay.
I just want to know, like, I want to hold it for next 3 to 4 years, kind of. So I'm not planning to sell it or book any loss at this moment.
Okay.
My question is like whether can we buy this one, whether it's like a falling knife or we need to wait for this stock to bottom out. The reason I am saying is like I bought it at this elevated level, like the book value is very high, like when the PB is very high.
Right.
Even I bought it at 140. So I just wondering like whether we can still go behind the stock or I need to wait for some more time to.
Understood. Understood, Hari. Yeah. Asta, I'll come to you. Bajaj Housing Finance, it came out with its earnings yesterday as well, where net interest income grew by around 25%, net profit grew by around 25%. But the street does not seem to, take it very well. But how are you reading the numbers and what's the outlook for the next 4 to 5 years?
Yes, so numbers were decent because we have seen their total income was also seen a rise. And in fact, numbers were looking good. But the only problem, I think, which is now becoming more and more evident as the stock prices are now falling more and more, is that the valuations, which are emerging out to be a major concern. So that might be one of the reasons. But going ahead in the longer term, I think this will again definitely going to perform. And we are expecting the stock prices to move till the level of 120 as of now. So I think let the stock prices correct till the level of 100 or 97, 98. But again, over the longer period of time, we are positive on this count.
All right, BEL is the next counter that we're talking about. And by the way, Somnath had a question on Bajaj Housing as well, and hopefully that answers your question, Somnath. BEL is a question or a stock that Abel Abraham from Kerala wants to know about. He's got an average price of 276. Quantum is 200 shares. Seeing a loss at this point, but not as significant as certain other people are. He's looking at a long-term view on this and so wants to know what the fundamentals look like. Asta, this is one of those stocks that a lot of people had bet on last year. Do you continue to be positive on it?
Yes, and on the back of a strong order also, which they have received a few days back, I suppose, of around 561 crores. And secondly, again, 30th January is the date when the company will going to announce its number. Just before the budget. And in this budget also, we are expecting a good package for the defense sector. So all in all, I think all things are falling in place for this counter, except the fact that market movement is right now not in that much rosy situation. So let this stock correct more, but we are positive on this counter with a strong order book they are having, the industry tailwind they will be enjoying. So remain invested in this counter. We are expecting it to rise till the level of 280 or 290 at the initial times.
Okay, all right. So considerable upside from this point for BEL. Hold is a call. Anant is calling us from Bengaluru. Anant, morning. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Asta ma'am. And I was planning to buy Frontier Springs and Jupiter Wagon.
Okay.
So I would like to know, is it a good time to enter?
Okay, so let me get your view on Jupiter Wagons. Let me pull that up as we speak. Jupiter Wagons currently trading at 380, down about 5.5%. Help me understand, Anant, you would buy this for the long term?
Yeah, at least 2 to 3 years I can keep.
Okay, so you're looking at the fundamentals. Okay, so the stock is down about 17% over the last 3 months, and in fact 33% over the last 6 months. So it's lost quite a bit of value over that period. Asta, on the fundamentals, does it look more attractive right now, or is it another one of those stocks where you say it's too early to call the bottom?
I think results will decide that. So let it leave on the results, which will be going to come tomorrow. Today, I'm just announcing all the results date, but this is just to make awareness about the investors that when the results come, definitely we have to be more careful and just start tracking the BSE India website and how the results will be panning out. Definitely, they're expecting a strong set of numbers from this counter. But as you have talked about the bottom, I think maybe the stock can fall till the levels of 350 or so, but everything is dependent on results. So I will be keeping my fingers crossed that this result should be a good one for the company. But right now, we are recommending hold on this counter, and if the results will come in the favor, definitely this will again poised to move till the levels of 400 to 430.
Right. Even budget will be something that will be, a key event to watch out for stocks like Jupiter Wagons since they operate in the railway space. Moving on to the next caller, Zenith from Bengaluru is calling in. A very good morning to you, Zenith. How can we help you?
Good morning, everybody. And I have a query regarding BSE shares. I'm holding 50 BSE shares at the rate of 4,414 rupees.
Got it.
I have few apprehensions.
Right.
First being, this particular stock has been rallied a lot, and keeping the capital market sentiments, it's not working out. Upcoming result I'm not expecting. So my question is simple. Shall I book profit now and I wait for it to further correct to my existing level so that I can buy more?
Right.
Or I should just wait for it?
All right, Zenith, your
It's a
question.
dilemma, rather.
Understood. So your question is crystal clear. Asta, I'll have to come back to you again. What's your view with respect to BSE? Because he's sitting on a profit of roughly 47,000 right now. Should he book profits at the current level?
So when the company has launched certain BSE derivative products, I mean, that was a game changer for the company. And I think from those levels, we have seen one side of a positive momentum in the stock prices. And in fact, their operating performance has also boosted the bottom line. But yes, right now, I think in such market conditions, partial profit booking is always recommended if the time horizon is a short term here means 3 months or 3 to 4 months, that is the time horizon, then definitely book some profit, because at least we can save our capital at this juncture. So that is more advisable. So right now, even I believe that partial profit booking can be done in this counter.
Okay, I'm going to club a couple of questions. So that's the view on BSE. But Asta, this one's for you, and maybe Swati can also weigh in on this one. Because we've got Krishna Kumar, who says that he just turned 18. He's writing from Tirupati, and he's asking if this is the right time to enter the market. I guess the answer to that is, if you've got a long enough time frame, then any time is a good time. And with stocks having dropped so substantially from their all-time highs, now is as good a time as any. But the question is also another one from Abhineet, who's writing from Bengaluru and looking to add some large cap FMCG and IT stocks. And will you recommend the likes of ITC, TCS at current levels, or averaging something like a VBL, Varun Beverages, or Coforge in the portfolio? Asta, first to you, and then I'll go to Swati.
So we are positive on the large cap stock over the longer period of time. So right now our strategy is partial, start entering into the counter. But if you have a capital of supposedly 1 lakh, then don't deploy the entire fund. Maybe 10, 20,000 or 30,000 at the max can be deployed at the present time, and maybe the remaining at the later time, because we are expecting markets to fall more. So right now, entered in the staggered way, not deploy the full capital which anyone is intending to, first of all. Secondly, in the large cap space, we are liking TCS. So yes, one can make a partial entry into this counter as well, as because we believe that TCS has strong chances to go till the level of again 4,200 to 4,400. Maybe some downfall can be expected till the level of 3,900 or 3,850, but these are the levels which are a good entry point. So staggered entry can always be recommended in such counter. In fact, in the FMCG space, we are more liking ITC rather than Varun Beverages, because we are finding it to be a defensive counter rather than Varun Beverages. So yes, ITC is looking good to us. Then TCS is looking good to us. And for entering into the market, staggered way of buying is a better approach.
Don't go whole hog is the advice, yes, at least from Astha. Swati, would you agree, and would you be a little cautious? Obviously, everyone's saying be cautious, but how would you approach the current market?
Alex, Astha has rightly pointed out, don't invest your lump sum amount at the current market price, because more depth is remaining into the market. I believe if you look towards the Nifty side, 22,500 can be tested. So she has rightly pointed out, try to do the investment in the installment phase, such like that. She has given the very good example that if you are planning to invest 1 lakh rupees, at least 20-30,000 can be invested at the current market price. And the stock specific, definitely on the IT space, I'm more positive on the Wipro. Wipro is currently trading at 300 odd levels. As of now, if we look towards the market corrections, Wipro has not corrected much, slowly and steadily. It's holding its strength and moving on upward directions. So try to invest capital into the Wipro if you're looking from the IT space. Emphasis really looks very good on the technical part as well. So those two counters are really doing very well from the technical front, from the IT pack. From the FMCG, I'm bullish onto the ITC as well, even from the HUL part. HUL looks really good. After such kind of a corrections, we are likely to witness some sort of turnaround story in this particular counter, because the counter has already hit the oversold zone, and from there onwards, we like to see the consolidation phase currently which is going on. So I believe for a longer term horizon, ITC HUL looks very promising to get entered at the current market price, at least 20-30%. If you're getting any dips, you should save your principal amounts to average it out on a downside. So those counters are really look good on the technical fronts.
Okay, that's an interesting take coming in from both Swati and Astha. Moving on to the next caller, Pradeep from Kerala is calling in. Pradeep, a very good morning to you. I believe you have a query on Zentech.
Good morning. How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, thank you. And I have a question. Actually, I am holding all sector like a 42 shares. Now, actually, basically, I lost lot like a 31% to 48% all of my shares, and especially now I focus. I have only one thing I need to ask, right? So, right. The Centec. Yeah, that is my concern.
Right.
Pradeep,
yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your conversation with Mahima, because I would like to have the same outlook to life.
Yeah.
Where you're sounding so energetic, and you're sounding so cheerful at a time when your portfolio is down 30%. I can only wish that I had, and in the future also, that I have the same approach to life. So first of all, congratulations to you.
I think me and Alex were just discussing our portfolios, and we were just crying over the fact that
thank you. And Mr. Like, my policy, my concern, I'm sure the market will come back. I am still here, so I don't really worry. This Indian market, India need to stand, I need to stand, we need to stand. Yeah. So I would like to, my question actually, add more or just hold or then add more. If go more down, I can add.
Yeah, well,
pretty bullish on Zen technology, I must say. Okay, Pradeep, I got your questions. Astha, Do you think he should, because he's sitting on a loss of around 7.2 lakh rupees, do you think he should add more at current levels to average out?
I think not at the present point of a time. Let the stock correct more and then we can entry into this counter. Now, talking about this counter, it is into the training and stimulation. And we all know that with this Ukraine and Russia war, how the importance of training is there. So definitely this company is going to benefit and they are developing various new products also. And we believe that the results will also be in a positive line. But right now, the only problem I think is with the valuation because the stock has got a high valuation, so that can be a concern if things will not fall in place. So right now, just stay invested in this counter and hold this counter with a price target of somewhere around 1800 in the medium to long term.
1800 is a target for you, Pradeep. So, but hold is the view, and I think advocating caution is the right approach right now for advisors as well as for investors. Certainly, Kanan is calling us now from Chennai. Kanan, good morning to you. And you bought KC International, I see, and you're seeing quite a bit of loss. What do you want to know?
I started accumulating that KEC. First of all, sorry, everyone, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I started accumulating this KEC International in the beginning of this month. But after that, it is falls heavily down. I will accumulate it more, but I just want to know, is there any particular reason it is falling around more than 30-40%, right? So I just want to know, is there any reason particularly? Because I can see their order book and recently also they are getting one order. But then also it is falling heavily.
Yeah.
Is there any particular reason?
I remember the order that you're talking about. If I'm not mistaken, it was an order of 1,445 or thereabouts crore. I'm just trying to pull up the 1 month chart for KC International, and you're right, actually, it's down about 37%. But actually, if you zoom out, if you look at the 3 month chart, it's actually down about 16%. So it's been quite choppy. So Karan, help me understand, are you buying this and you're holding this for the long term?
Yes, I started this in this month only, but I try to hold it at least 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years, okay. So let me then come back to you, Astan. I understand there are a lot of long-term investors that are calling now, asking about their individual holding. He's taken a call on KC International, deployed only earlier this month, and he's right, 37% down over a month. And this is despite the company having orders that it is disclosing. Is it simply a question of valuations that is having this company take a knock? And what is the strategy that you would employ?
At present, it seems to be like that this can be a valuation concern because it is trading at a price to earning multiple of 50. Whereas if I talk about the industry as a whole, it is somewhere quoting at around 35. So trading at a price to earning multiple of 50 against the industry multiple of 30 to 35 definitely make a counter expensive. Although we are seeing that this company is continuously receiving order, yes, the last order they have received was of around 1,445 crores. But what I think that being into the capital goods space is also, one of the reasons that this stock is not able to perform, because we have seen that this sector is not able to perform. So there is no more, industry tailwind which is helping this sector. So I think, in fact, the sector problem is there. Along with the higher valuation, we are seeing that this stock is not showing strong performance. But let's wait for the result, which will be scheduled to announce on 3rd February, I suppose. So I think it's better to hold this counter.
Hold is the view coming on KC International. Moving on to the next query. Shishir from Nagpur is holding 175 stocks of Bajaj Auto. He's bought it at 8615 a piece. He wants to know whether he should hold or sell. Bajaj Auto is set to, kind of post its result today. So auto space will start its earnings today. Revenue is expected to rise around 13% and net profit around 12%. But Swati, I'll come to you. On the charts, how does it fare?
We have seen a lot of sell-off in this particular counter from 12,000 levels to almost 8,000, 8,200 levels. Now, probably, yes, we are likely to witness some sort of a turnaround in this particular counters. Very soon, upside, it has a strong resistance of 8,500. If it's clear that level, then the trend will be turn on the higher side, and which may take a counter back towards to 9,000, 9,200. That will be the target. So, not to book your losses, hold your long positions for immediate target of initial will be 8,600. Above that level, 9,000 levels can be tested.
All right, so that's the view coming in on Bajaj Auto. Hold is the view from Swati. The next caller, Balaji from Chennai, is calling in. A very good morning to you, Balaji. Titagarh is the counter that you're looking for, in terms of stock query. Hi, Balaji, I can hear you. Sorry?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead with your query.
Yeah, so I recently bought Titagarh for around average price of 1,000 per share.
Okay.
So I saw a downfall on that stock. I was watching that stock from when it was around 1,300 levels.
Right.
So when it is down to 1,330 odd price, right, I made an entry. So now I felt that was a oversold zone and I made the entry. So now again today it is extending its downtrend. So I want to know whether there is anything negative or I can add it some more now.
Understood. I got your query. Just one quick follow-up question. Are you looking to hold this share for a longer term perspective, or do you intend to? Longer term perspective it is?
I am aware of that the government narrative till 2029, how much upgrades to the railway sector they are trying to do, right? So Titagarh has maximum capacity, so I was having long term view.
Understood. Asta, Titagarh has fallen from the highs of around 1880 and right now it's trading at 930. Do you expect an upside, a bounce back from this level from a longer term perspective?
I think we can see some sort of upside in this counter. Now, talking about this counter, in fact, they have operations not only in India but in Italy also. And in fact, they are into. Recently there was a news about this driverless, train and in the Bangalore, which they have the project which they have done well. So I think their project line is good. In fact, valuations not very cheap because it is trading at a price to earning multiple of 41 against the industry average of 43. So not very cheap, in line with the industry average. But I think if the stock market will not be in a good mood going ahead also, then definitely this stock will also get beaten up. So that we really need to see. But it is a good long-term story to bet upon. In fact, budget is also round the corner. So hold is a strategy for this counter, which we are recommending right now.
Okay, hold is the view on Titagarh Rail. We've got Varun from Bengaluru who's asking about Reliance Industries, and I think a lot of investors waiting for a turnaround in this stock. The stock is currently just about treading water. It's a flat in trade at 1,230. The question that he's asking is, would you buy at this point, Swati? Do you have enough conviction to say buy?
Yes, Alex, we can definitely buy at the current market price, not a wholesome, but at least 30-40% can be bought at the current market price. Why? Because weekly chart shows some sort of a positive diversion in this particular counter. Even though the market is correcting, but this counter is holding is a very good support of 1,200 rupees, and it's just trading nearby that level only. So I will suggest to take a fresh long positions at the current market price also. Upside, we can see some more positive momentums once the stock manages to clear 1,300 levels. In the past week also, we have seen that it surpasses 1326 levels on intraday basis, but fails to maintain the positive closing above the same. Once it manages to maintain a positive closing above 1300 levels for at least 1 to 2 days, definitely trend will see a reversal, and which might take a counter towards to 1500 levels and so. So it's a definitely buy call at the current market price, not a wholesome, but definitely 20-30% can be accumulated.
Okay. All right. So that's the view on Reliance Industries. Sagar is calling us from Bengaluru. Sagar, morning. What do you want to know about?
Yeah, hi, morning, Alex.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I had around 2,000 shares of Pyramid Pharma at an average price of 248.
Okay.
So I just wanted to know that if I can average it down or add more.
Okay, and what is your time horizon?
Yeah, it is a minimum like 3-4 years minimum.
3-4 years, okay. So you bought it on the fundamentals. It's not too far actually from your buy price. Did you recently buy it?
Yeah, I guess 2 weeks back.
2 weeks back. All right. So it's given up quite a bit of ground since you bought it and you incurring a loss. But since you've got a long-term time frame, let me go across to Asta. Asta, it's not really a cheap stock based on the valuations, right? But would you hold for the long term?
Yes, because I like the management guidance, because in the last commentary, they were sticking to the early teen growth, or they were sticking to the guidance of early teen growth in their financial performance. So I think that is what is giving optimism for this counter. But right now, we should not ignore the market conditions as well. So looking after both the factors, we are recommending a hold on this counter. So definitely a hold is there, and maybe this stock can move upwards till the level of 240 to 245 at the current junction.
40 to 45 is the near-term level that Asta sees on the stock. It's time to hit the rapid-fire segment, and both of you know what this is about. We'll throw as many questions as possible at you over the course of the next 2 minutes, and do keep your answers as short and concise as possible. CDSL is the name of the stock. Sarath has got this question. He's bought at levels of 1,750. He's asking whether to hold elevated levels. Swati, would you hold?
Yes, at the current level you can hold, because downside is limited. Upside we can see some bounce back rally towards to 1500 to 1600. So it's hold from my end.
Got it. Rohit is holding 500 shares at an average price of 336. This is Sapphire Foods, and he wants to know whether he should exit, and he also wants to know the stop loss. Swati?
The stop loss can be kept at around 270 levels. That is the level we have seen the previous supports level. So by keeping 270 as a stop loss, you can hold your long positions. Upside can be soon up to 320 to 330 levels can be seen.
Okay, this is another Rohit who's got Sagility at 53, 900 shares. He's lost a little bit of ground. What should he do? Should he hold on? It's currently at a lower circuit. Asta, would you hold?
Yes, there is no other choice right now as of now.
Yeah, of course.
But yes, a hold is recommended because I think the valuation concerns are always there, but this is a high growth stock in the financial performance point of view. Definitely a hold is.
Okay.
All right, Gul is holding HAL shares averaged at 3920. Is this the right time to average, Swati?
No, not at the current market price you should average it out, but if the stocks find out a support nearby 3300, that levels can be a good level to average it out. So just wait and watch, and upside can be seen up to 4000 levels.
Okay, Anant Raj is the next counter, and this is Manoj's question. He's bought at levels of 915, and the stock is currently at 534, losing. Again, another stock at a lower circuit. No option right now, but Swati, when it opens, would you suggest a hold or an exit?
I will suggest to hold on, because downside we can see up to 500 to 590 levels. Over there you can average it out, but not to book the losses after such kind of a fall. So it's hold from my end.
Harish is holding 700 stocks of Newland Labs. He wants to hold it for the next 24 months. Asta, what should he do?
I think for the next 24 months, definitely a hold is recommended.
Okay, Asta, Swati, thanks so much for joining in, for answering all the questions that you did. Always a pleasure, and tough market to be giving advice in also. So really, truly appreciate the assistance that you've provided to our viewers. All right, that brings us to the end of this particular edition of Ask Profit, and thanks so much for tuning in. We've got a great show lined up for you, as Mahima pointed out. Know Your Company is up next, and Laurus Labs is the company that we're focusing in on. So do stay tuned. This is NDTV Profit.
This is the day that shapes the future of 1 billion dreams.
From the fields of agriculture to the backbone of defense.
From ambitious infrastructure projects to everyday tax policies.
Every decision counts.
How will this budget balance growth and fiscal prudence?
What will it mean for jobs, and what will it mean for your portfolio?
Join us for the most comprehensive coverage of Budget 2025
as we decipher the impact
of this budget on you.
I present the budget for a historic
Well, the union budget is right around the corner. It's a very interesting time leading up to the budget as well for the policymakers as well as, us as shareholders, because we see a lot of movement in the Nifty as well as speculations are rife with what could be some of the measures that are announced in this particular budget as well as has been in each one going into the same. We look at some of the key moves that have seen in the Nifty before as well as after the budget and get you some of the biggest measures that were announced in these budgets and what could have led to the strong Nifty reactions. Let's first look at 2024 because we had two budgets announced in this particular year. One was post the elections as well, and we did see a 1.5% move in just a week after, and that momentum was continued in the month as well. Leading into this budget, there were a lot of speculation. So we saw a downward reaction of the Nifty in the past week. And we did see some of the measures such as the standard deduction being increased to 75,000 for salaried employees from 50,000 earlier, as well as the new tax regime now in having tax-free status for up to 3 lakh rupees per annum for the investors as well. Apart from that, we saw custom duty reductions on mobile phones, gold as well as chargers as well. And these were some of the key moves in this particular budget. Leading up to the election, we had, the 2024 budget in February as well.